Tonight, the treasurer of Barcelona stood in front of the club's members and delivered the kind of message designed to stop a rumour from metastasizing. The merchandising arm will not be sold, and the club's finances are under management. He did not hide numbers. The accounts show an extraordinary loss of 17 million euros. But he put that figure next to an ordinary operating profit of 2 million and an auditor's report without reservations, inviting listeners to separate headline shock from underlying operational reality. The balance he presented was meant to calm immediate panic while acknowledging pressure points that cannot be ignored. What drove the extraordinary loss was explained in technical but important terms. A devaluation tied to the club's media and content division, an accounting adjustment that hit this reporting period. One-off write-downs like this change the top line on a balance sheet and make annual comparisons look worse, but they do not automatically mean ongoing cash shortages or the sale of strategic revenue streams. Licensing and merchandising, the group that sells shirts rights and the global face of the badge, continues to generate predictable income across markets, and that recurring revenue is exactly the kind of asset a club depends on to fund both footballing and community ambitions. The treasurer's denial of any sale carried a political edge. He singled out those who had amplified the rumour for electoral gain, arguing that the story had been used not to illuminate facts, but to score points. At Barcelona, where members decide direction and where internal elections can be decided by mood and narrative, a story that suggests a prized asset is up for grabs can change votes and shape pressure on the board. That is why the denials mattered. They were not only a financial clarification, but also a pushback against a tactic that can convert routine financial debate into a referendum about leadership. Even as he pushed back on the sales story, the treasurer was explicit about risk. He warned that great sporting triumphs sometimes arrive with great economic costs, and that unchecked wage growth and aggressive transfer spending can leave a club vulnerable later. His warning was not meant to be an arid lecture. It was a clear red line. Pursue ambition, but do it within a framework that safeguards the club's long-term health. For a fan base that judges success by trophies and headline signings, that counsel is a sober reminder that sustainable success requires matching firepower on the pitch with discipline in the ledger. There are encouraging signs amid the caution. The gradual return of fans to the stadium is restoring matchday income. Commercial partnerships are strengthening, and merchandising remains a potent amplifier of global brand value. Protecting control of the merchandising arm preserves not just immediate revenue but future leverage. Sponsorships, licensing deals, and the ability to monetize content and iconography. Selling a stake might have patched a balance sheet in the short term, but it would have reduced upside and ceded control over how the badge is used and monetized for decades to come. When the Assembly approved the accounts and the debate wound down, a practical checklist remained for members and observers. Watch wage growth and transfer commitments to see whether ambition is being kept in check. Demand clarity about which losses are one-off accounting moves and which reflect structural problems, and monitor how matchday recovery converts into recurring cash flow. Also keep an eye on the political temperature, because how stories are told inside the club can change decisions as surely as the numbers themselves. The treasurer's intervention was defensive by necessity and forward-looking by design. It pushed back on panic, signalled a commitment to revenue growth that protects identity, and laid down a rule that the pursuit of glory should not bankrupt the future the club exists to protect.